छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल,
छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल,
छोटो सो मेरो, छोटो सो मेरो, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। ओ छोटे छोटे गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल, आगे आगे गैया पीछे पीछे ग्वाल, आगे आगे गैया पीछे पीछे ग्वाल, बीच में मेरो मदन गोपाल हरी। ओ छोटे छोटे गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल, घास खाए गैया दूध पीवे ग्वाल, घास खावे गैया दूध पीवे ग्वाल, माखन खावे मेरो मदन गोपाल, छोटे छोटे गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल, छोटी छोटी लकुती छोटे छोटे हाथ, छोटी छोटी लकुती छोटे छोटे हाथ, बंसी बजावे मेरो मदन गोपाल, ओ छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे हाथ, छोटो सो मेरो, छोटो सो मेरो, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल, छोटी छोटी सखियां मधुबन बाल, छोटी छोटी सखियां मधुबन बाल, रास रचावे मेरो मदन गोपाल हरी। छोटी छोटी गैया छोटे छोटे ग्वाल, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल, छोटो सो मेरो, छोटो सो मेरो, छोटो सो मेरो मदन गोपाल। कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। वर्णानामर्थ संज्ञानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मंगलानां च कर्तारो वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ। भवानी शंकरौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ। याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम्। नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यथोऽपि। स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथ गाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति। भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति। हरि ओम्। श्री राम जय राम। जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम मंगल भवन मंगल हारी
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
द्रव दशरथ अजय बिहारी
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
बिन सत्संग भी वेद न होई
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
राम कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
रघुकुल रीति सदा चली आई
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
प्राण जाए बरु वचन न जाए
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
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 श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय. Okay, if you're joining us tonight for the first time, we are seeing women in the Ramayana. And today, last night we saw the only unmarried ascetic. The only unmarried. Oh, that's the night before. Who's called as Swayam Prabha. Great ascetic. Well, there's another great ascetic, married ascetic in Ramayana. And she comes at the beginning of the Aranyakand, married to the great sage Atri Muni. She's called as Anasuya. And today we had a request to do Anasuya from somebody who is like Anasuya only. But they did not know that I was going to do Anasuya in any case. So Anasuya, Bhagavan calls Arjuna Anasuya in Gita, you know. In the 9th chapter, Bhagavan tells that I am going to give this supreme knowledge to you because you are Anasuya, Arjuna. Anasuya and Anasuya in Sanskrit, when you have to make masculine, feminine like this, it comes out. And the meaning of the word Anasuya, the name, all names have meaning. Actually, there is a tradition which says, in Hinduism, if you study your name alone, you could gain mukti. You don't have to study all scriptures and this and that, because the names are so packed with meaning that if you study that name alone, your own name, you can't. Therefore, you have no excuse. I don't know scriptures. No, we have to study the name. I'm talking about Hindu name. Talking about Harry and Donald and all kind of thing. Donald, if you study, you will become a doc. I don't know the meaning, but you have to study these all simple names sometime. Enough. So anyway, Anasuya word name means now. In Ramayana also it is described, she who doesn't find fault with anybody. This is one meaning. I'm telling you several meanings, because words have many meanings. Doesn't find fault with anybody. That is one meaning. Then second meaning. If anybody has any durguna, the nature of this world is anybody who has any durguna will also have, durguna means any negative trait, right? Anybody who has a negative trait. The nature of the world is a negative trait cannot be there without some positive trait. And vice versa. Positive trait also cannot be there without some negative trait. It will always be there. So Anasuya is one who looks only at the positive trait and overlooks the, not in Trinidad overlook, in Trini overlooking at the negative trait only. Not that kind of overlook. Doesn't look at the negative traits. So the one who looks at the positive traits and extols those virtues and goodness in that person, that she is called as Anasuya. Now, suppose you come across a person, everything about that fellow is durguna, every negative trait. So because sometimes you may see that. You can't point, you can't find, not that there is none, maybe you can't find any positive trait in that fellow. Anasuya is one then who will say nothing about that fellow. I can't find any positive, but then I will not say anything about the negative trait. She is called as Anasuya. Asuya also means envy and jealousy and all such things. So Anasuya means one without any envy or jealousy. All these meanings are there for her name. Okay. So this Anasuya is the great-granddaughter of Brahmaji. Brahmaji himself, Brahmaji's son is Swayambhu Manu. Same Manu as Manu Shatrupha. Swayambhu Manu, his son. And Swayambhu Manu's son, not son, daughter, is Devahuti. Devahuti is the famous Devahuti of Bhagavatam, who we have studied already, Devahuti, whose son was Kapila Muni, who gave Kapil Gita. Kapil Gita we have done. You may not have done, but we have done here. Of Bhagavatam. So, Brahmaji, Swayambhu Manu, then Devahuti, who is married to Kardama. That's he's outside the family, but Devahuti. And Devahuti's daughter is this Anasuya. So that will make her what? Great-granddaughter. Right? Brahmaji, Manu, Devahuti, Anasuya. Great-granddaughter. I hope I collect all day. So she's the great-granddaughter of Brahmaji himself. and a great, 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 great ascetic. Now let us see, she is introduced here. And this is beginning of Aranyakand, just after Doha number 4. Aranyakand. Bhagavan Sri Ram, Lakshmana, Sita ji, they are now deciding to leave after spending 30 years in Chitrakoot. And where this story is taking place, you can still visit. I think in our last trip there, Chitrakoot, the whole group went to Chitrakoot. So this is taking place in Chitrakoot. They are leaving, and their ashram is just on the outskirts of Chitrakoot. Atri Muni ashram is just on the outskirts there, right? And nearby is Mandakini river. So you can still go and see all of these places. So this is unfolding in that place. Bhagavan Sri Ram, Lakshmana, Sita ji, they make a visit to Atri Muni's ashram, where the great Atri Muni Anasuya are living. And some exchange takes place there. Actually, Atri Muni sings a very famous stuti also for Bhagavan Ram. Let me sing 2 lines. It will sound familiar to you when you hear. Hi. नमामि भक्तवत्सलं कृपालुशीलकोमलं भजामि ते नमामि भक्तवत्सलं दादरा only नमामि भक्तवत्सलं कृपालुशीलकोमलं भजामि ते पदाम्बुजम् अकामि श्यामसुन्दरं भवाम्बुनाथमन्दरं प्रफुल्लकञ्जलोचनं मदादिदोषमोचनं नमामि भक्तवत्सलं कृपालुशीलकोमलं भजामि ते पदाम्बुजम् अकामिनात्पदामदम् अकामिनां स्वदामहम् अकामिनां स्वदामहम्. The Atri Muni sings this very long stuti. I sang there two verses of it. And when he's finished, Sita ji goes to sit with Anasuya, the wife. And there, a very famous passage comes. And just as it is famous, so also it is controversial, especially for modern day women. So I will tell you what it says, and you will decide the controversy yourself. We can try to make sense of it also. But the Anasuya also, I told, had great powers, because she was a great ascetic and great powers. That Mandakini which is running there today, it is said by her tapas, Atri Muni explains to Bhagavan Sri Ram, she herself brought it down there. There was a 10-year drought, and she brought down by the power of her tapas that river to that place. And we should never doubt any of these things. I'll tell you something. In the Western world in which you are brought up, your psyche, please pay attention to this, it's a very important thing. Because when you mess up the psyche of a civilization, it is very, very difficult to mend and repair that. That is a very difficult thing. This is the same thing which has been done to African people. The psyche was really messed up. So you are taught that Moses lifted his staff and the river, what is it, the ocean or something? Or the river? Parted, right? The ocean. And that is, you are expected to believe that as true. But when Vasudeva was going over the river with Krishna in the basket in his head, and the river parted, that in every piece of literature existing on the earth, is called as mythology. So you are taught, because of 400 years of history, you are taught that everything that you talk about and everything that you teach is called as mythology. That is total messing up of your psyche. And that is done systematically over a period of 300-400 years. So when we say Anasuya did tapas and brought down Ganga, there should not be any iota of doubt in your mind that the power of tapas, the absolute reality is called as tapas in our Taittiriya Upanishad. Tapasa uchyate, that a reality is called as tapas. That's the power of the whole universe. And what makes the universe tick and what makes the universe turn over is the power inherent in the universe. So, what invaders have done to different civilization is not only invade physically and take over land and take over wealth and take over everything, they have taken over also the psyche, and that is more dangerous. It's a terribly dangerous thing. So all of us have become like that. These two civilizations, African and Indian civilization, and these are the two grassroots civilizations, what you call as Deshi civilizations. Grassroots is the most natural things, contains the most natural things. So, when such things come in scriptures, we are talking about a universe with infinite potencies. Is there anything in this universe, is there any part of this universe which is finite? I mean, this universe goes on infinitely. Universe is packed with infinite power also. There's a reality which is at the substratum level of the universe, which is of infinite power. And how can you put anything outside the capacity of that infinite power? No doubt should ever come in our mind regarding any such thing. Right? Otherwise, what happened now? Our psyche has become so messed up. People going, Swamiji, Ramayana was real? They put the doubt so deep that you start to doubt your own thing. Ramayana was real? So by the tapas, Atri Muni explains to Bhagavan Ram, it's not here, in Valmiki Ramayana. And as soon as he reached there, this lady, he tells to Bhagavan Ram, this Anasuya, he's telling about his wife. Rare is a man who could praise his wife like that, And it means her power and her intelligence and her tapas shakti, the power derived from her tapas, was so overwhelming that the first thing that Atri Muni could find to tell to Bhagavan Sri Ram is about the greatness of Anasuya. He said one time that we had a drought here that was 10 years long and not a drop of water. And she sat in tapas and dhyan, and all the gods came to get her darshan. All the gods. And when they got her darshan, because of the severity of her tapas, they were all thinking, where is this great Shakti emanating from in this world? And they all came to see. And when they were leaving, she told Ganga to stay. Ganga had also come. So there, Ganga is called as Mandakini. So she brought Ganga to that place. And just a click of a finger could make anything in this world. Click of finger from a tapasvini in this case. Tapasvini. So Atri Muni tells that. But then she herself meets with Sitaji, and then this dialogue unfolds between, dialogue, monologue, whatever you want to call it. She's teaching to Sitaji. You have to get the words correct, On one of our trips to India on the train, all these trainees who had gone, they were all singing on the train. So one male and female, they said, let us sing a duet, right? male, female, you sing a duet. But instead of saying duet, they said, let us sing a duel. No, you have to be real careful with the words. There's a totally opposite meaning. Sing a duel. अनसुईया के पद गही सीता श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम
मिले बहोरी सुशील विनीता
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
ऋषि पत्नी मन सुख अधिकाई
श्री राम जय राम
आशीष दे निकट बैठाई
श्री राम जय राम
दिव्य बसन भूषण पहिराए
श्री राम जय राम
जे नित नूतन अमल सुहाए
श्री राम जय राम
ऋषि बधु सरस मृदुबानी
श्री राम जय राम
नारी धर्म कछु ब्याज बखानी
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय राम
जय रघुराम
जय रघुराम
जय सीताराम
जय सीताराम
सियावर रामचंद्र की जय अनुसुईया के पद गही सीता सीता जी bowed to the feet of the great Anasuya. This is the first line. Mili Bahori Susila Vinita, and the great Anasuya met her very simply and nicely, in a comforting way, and also with a lot of humility. Both of them meeting each other. Rishi Patini Sana Sukh Adhikai, and she was very happy to meet this Anasuya. And this is a very nice line. Here is a sage, a female sage, an ascetic. And Sita ji, after having come all the way from Ayodhya, now this is 13 years in Chitrakoot. And throughout the Ramayana, there is only talk of Bhagwan Ram meeting this sage, that sage, Valmiki ji, all the different sages coming down, right? So many sages. And no female sage. So Sita ji was very, very happy to meet her. Another thing is, inside the line, if you see, Rishi Patini's son, Sukha Adhikai. That son word gives the indication of that here was one wife who was happy to be in the company of the other wife and be as a support to the other wife, or to extol the virtues of the other wife, like that. That is the idea. Vishipatini sana sukha. There are, you see all the time, women supporting women, things like that, right? We see. So that kind of thing. Asisha de nikata bethai, and this great saintly Anasuya blessed Sita ji and sat her down next to her. Then Dibya Basan, she gave to her divine clothes, things to wear. Bhushan means alankar, what is that? Ornaments. Pahiraye, she gave to Sita ji. And then J, and now this is a lot of women like this line. J nita nutana amala suhaye. These clothes and these ornaments which she gave, they never became old. Every day they look more new. And it is said, here it is not said, but in India and in that part of the world, there are more than 250 Ramayans. There are not only just Ramayana, Tulsi Ramayana. More than 250 Ramayans are there. So in one of the Ramayana somewhere I read that she gave Sita ji an ointment to rub on her face so that she'll never get old. And I thought many women will like that. Thank God the cosmetic companies have not yet found it. It means the face will never get wrinkled or get old like that. She gave to Sita ji. It is not in Tulsi Ramayana. I'm telling some other place. Some ointment, something to rub. I don't know what you call it. Ointment? Not ointment. My word, I don't know about that thing. What do you call face cream? Face cream. Face cream. Anyway, Kaharishi Badhu Sarasa Mridu Bani, and then she spoke very sweet, soft words to Sita ji. Nari Dharma Kachubya Jabakhani. I'm going to tell very briefly the duties of a wife. That is, and this is where it comes. You have to now think. See, in other words, what I want you to think about is this is there in Ramayana. I'll tell also the literal meaning of what is there. The duty of a student of scriptures, please pay attention to this. The duty of a student of scriptures is, the student is supposed to do two main things. One is, see how that thing is to be understood and made relevant in today's world, because something which is written in a different era, how that is relevant and how is sense to be made out of that thing in today's world. That's first thing. Second thing is, a student in the Vivek Chudamani and in the Shankara tradition, a student is supposed to develop uha poha vichakshana. Uha poha vichakshana with regard to scriptures. I mean, if the scripture says ABC, the student has to develop the ability to defend ABC and to ward off any criticism of ABC. Both the things. They're called uha poha vichakshana. If the student is a student of scriptures, this is his duty to do these two things. If he cannot do this, student, then what scripture he is studying? Means he is not studying scripture, he is writing a PhD. People who write PhD, duty is to criticize that thing. Show it is not relevant and not correct and it is not consistent and all these kind. And then when he writes a critique, he will get a PhD. But that is not a student of scriptures. That is a student of PhD. So now I will tell these lines. And I'll tell you the meanings also. And see, Anasuya is telling to Sita ji. Matu pita bhrata hitkari.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Hit prad sab sunu raj kumari.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
Amit dani bhar dhave dehi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
अथम सुनारी जो सेवन के
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama.
धर्म मित्र अरुणारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
आपद काल परिकियहि चारी।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
वृद्ध रोग बस जड़ धनहीना।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
अंध बधिर क्रोधी अति दीना।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
ऐसे हु पति कर किए अपमाना।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
नारी पाप जमपुर दुख नाना।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
एक ही धर्म एक व्रत नेमा।
श्री राम जय राम।
गायक जन मन पति पद प्रेमा।
श्री राम जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय राम।
श्री राम जय जय राम।
जय रघुराम
जय रघुराम।
जय सीताराम।
जय सीताराम।
मातु पिता भ्राता हितकारी मित प्रद सब सुनु सुकुमार राजकुमारी. That in a woman's life, says, there is mother, there is father, there is brother in the family. These people can bring a measure of joy and a measure of evolution. That is the idea. Mitaprada, limited measure. Sab sukhu, sunu sukumari. I just want to read the Hindi for you also. It is very nice translated in Hindi. परंतु ये सब एक सीमा तक ही सुख देने वाले हैं, परंतु हे जानकी पति को मोक्ष रूप असीम सुख देने वाला है. It means to say, and the Chaupai says, Amitadani bharta Vaidehi. Vaidehi means Sitaji. But from a husband, or through a husband, the wife can get mukti. The wife can get mukti through the husband. Well, first thing, let me tell you. You think about one additional point, and you will see why the reverse is also true. What reverse is also true? Through the wife, the husband can also get mukti. Because you know from the Vivaha Sanskar and all, very clearly you know that. In Vivaha Sanskar, Bhagwan comes from there, in that Bharat, right? Bhagwan comes from there, and here, who is there? That time, the Vara or the groom is Bhagwan, and the bride is who? Lakshmi only, isn't it? The bride is Lakshmi only. In a marriage ceremony, Vivaha, Bhagwan Narayan and Lakshmi, these two people become like that in the whole ceremony on that day. I mean, the status of Narayan and Lakshmi, and that is why we have in Hinduism, Bhagwan Shiva is Ardhanari Ishwar, isn't it? He is half man and half woman. So whatever is being said here about wife, the same thing will be true about husband. Second thing is, why is this alone being said and why not about? Because what is one of the central theme in the whole presentation here is about the fidelity of the wife towards the husband. And why is not the fidelity about the husband to the wife is told in the Ramayana? Why that is not told? And there's a very simple reason for that. And this is why this is more relevant today than that time. What is the reason? The reason is, that time, the husbands had more than one wife. But the wives did not have more than one husband, except for maybe two exceptions in the scriptures. So it is proper to speak about the fidelity of the wife towards the husband, because the wives did not have other husbands. And the husband had, Dasharath, the same Ramayana, Dasharath himself had so many, Ravan had so many wives. I don't know how they remember all these wives. So that type of topic is less possible than speaking about the fidelity of the wife towards the husband. But that's why I'm telling you this is more relevant today, because now it is the law in most of the countries across the earth. It is the law that a man can only have one wife. So now the fidelity of the wife towards the husband will now be the same fidelity of the husband towards the wife. So this thing can become more relevant today. So she tells to Sitaji that through the husband, the wife can get mukti if she does seva for the husband in the form of, or if she serves the husband in the form of worship. That is the idea. Well, the exact same thing. If the husband considers his wife as Lakshmi and does seva, same mukti will come. Because in Hinduism, and please pay attention to this, in Hinduism, it is not the act that counts, it is the bhav, or the emotive, or what we call the attitude with which the act is done. And this teaching of Hinduism is taken also in jurisprudence. In jurisprudence, it is not the act which is the actual expression of the act which is called as the action. In jurisprudence, what is called as the action is the intention or the motive behind the act. That is called as the action. Therefore, if your action resulted in the death of a person, the man dead, dead, you kill him dead. But if that act had no intention or no motive, then that thing is not murder. The result is same, the man is dead. If the person had intention or motive and he killed him, he is dead. He had no intention and they killed this fellow, then the man is dead. In both cases, he is dead. But in this case, where there was no intention or motive, the court, you see, jurisprudence recognizing that there was no intention or motive in that. This fellow is not guilty of murder. Though the action and the result is same. So here also, if seva is done with an attitude of, as Bhagavan says, Ma manusmara yutyacha. Remember me, dedicate everything to me, and you do your work. If the husband does his seva considering his wife to be Lakshmi, or the wife does her seva to the husband considering to be Narayan, then that is what counts. That is all. Bas. So she says, in this way, because this person is going to live for the rest of their life with this wife or husband, the family will be left behind. This is the time in which it was written, right? The family is left behind, mother, father, brother, this, that, they are left behind. Dhiraj dharma mitra aru nari. She says, she makes comments. There's a comment only. What is that? That in times of apadakal, Apadkal parikhiyahi chari. These 4 things are tested in times of, what is apadkal in English? Huh? In emergency, yeah. In emergencies, or in training language, in hard times. In hard times, right? It means when the going gets tough. That is the Western phrase. When the going gets tough. These 4 things are tested. What is that? Our fortitude. Fortitude or resilience. That is called as dhairya, dhiraj. Then dharma, our piety. Otherwise, we are very, very pious and religious and upright and all that. But when the going gets tough, we break every rule. Like that. So that is tested in hard times also. Then mitra, our friend. A friend in need is a friend indeed. One fellow went to meet his friend. He said, have you heard this saying? A friend is in need is a friend indeed. That fellow said, yes, stranger, I have heard it. Because you already know this fellow coming for something. Arunari, and next one is the wife. In hard times, these 4 are tested that time, he says. This will, when things, when the spouse is getting, when the spouse is going through tough times, that time the other spouse is tested. Then we will know the metal. That is the idea. Bridha roga basa jara dhanahina and badir krodhi ati dina. If that husband, she says, that husband is bridha. Bridha means old. Then roga basa means sick, ailing. Jara. Jara means lazy. That fellow lazy. Dhanahin. Not a penny, it's penniless. Dhanahin. Penniless. One fellow I met just last week only. He tell me the day he married his wife. He gone, well, the day before, he prepared. What he prepared? He take a cent, a 1 cent coin, and he paint it in black. And on the day for the wedding, the next day, he give it to his wife. And he say, 20 years later, his wife quarreling with him. And she say, never give me a black cent. He say, yeah, you go back to the wedding. Go back to the wedding day, you're going to know, you're going to see. You forget. I make them take picture too. You never give me a black cent. So anyway, the man really tell me that, no, I'm here joking. You think I had to write down my lecture? All that story that I get from everybody every day, all about. Real nice thing. Here, penniless, dhanahina. Then, andha, blind, badhira, deaf, krodhi. He has a lot of anger issues. Atidina, oh, miserable, wretched fellow. Miserable fella. It doesn't matter, she says to Sitaji, Aise hu pati karake apamana nari pava jarma pura dukhanana. The consequences are dire. To disrespect such a husband, even or any of these durgunas, or the wife, the other case. What happened to that spouse? Jamapur. Jamapur means Yamapur. That means they're going to suffer a lot of things in Yamapur. Yamapur means the city of death. The idea is, for disrespect of the spouse, there are consequences. That much you take. There will be consequences for the disrespect. Ekai dharma, eka vrata nema, kaya, bachan, mana, pati, pada, prema. One dharma only the wife has to follow. One vrata means one oath, one vow, body, speech and mind, to serve the husband. That is called as serving the spouse, in other words. Jagapati vrata chari. Now she tells about 4 types of wives, or it will be 4 types of husband also. What is that? From the best to the worst, she tells to Sitaji. What is the best? The best wife is, many things, I don't have enough time to sing all that, I'll just tell in English now. The best wife is the wife in whose mind there is no other man in the world, as though there is no other man existing. उत्तम के अस बस मन माही सपन हूँ आन पुरुष जग nahi. There is no other man existing in the world except my husband. Or for the husband, there is no other woman existing in this world except my wife. That is the idea. Huh? That is the best. Madhyama parapati dekhai kaise. And the next one now. It's not madhyama. It's in 4 you can't have middle. But he says madhyama. You can have 2 middle. Means the next one. She sees every man as bhrata, pita, putra, nija, jaise. She sees every other man in the world as brother, father, putra, depending on age. If he is older like he is my father. If he is same age, he is my brother. If he is younger, he is my son. Like that, depending on age. Dharmachari. And then dharma, vichari, samuji, kula, rahai, so nikishta, triya, shrutiyasa, kahai. The third one is she considers dharma. She thinks about dharma and samuji, kula, rahai, and she thinks about the honor of her family, and so does not overstep bounds. Man or woman, he or she, right? Does not overstep bounds. This is a serious thing. What is not said behind the lines is very serious thing. And the fourth one, Binu avasara bhayate raha joi. She doesn't do anything wrong because she get no chance. Or he do nothing wrong because he get no. So Binu avasara. Avasara means chance, opportunity. Janiho adama nari jaga. And then she tells also the consequences for not doing the right thing. Binu shramanari paramagati lahi. And if that spouse can be dedicated to the other spouse in the proper way, like that, she says that is a means for moksha. That is see. Let us see. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram,
Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Binu shramanari param gati lahai. पतिव्रत धर्म छादि छल गहाई. श्री राम जय राम,
जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम.
राम 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 सीता राम राम राम.
बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम.
राजा राम 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 सीता राम राम राम.
राजा राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम.
Please also see what is happening here in the bigger context of Hinduism. In the bigger context of Hinduism, you will hear musicians, for example. They are musicians, kalakars, right? That musician may be playing a basuri only, a flute, one instrument, or he's a vocalist, whatever it is. Every situation that a person finds themselves in, I am a simple musician. I am whatever I'm doing. There was a sage in Mumbai who used to make bidi. I don't know if you know what is bidi. Bidi is a tobacco leaf. and he puts some powdered tobacco in the tobacco leaf and wraps it and takes a thread and ties it. And he does that whole day, and he puts them into little packages and tie it with that thread. And people smoke that instead of smoking cigarette, which is an expensive thing. This is very cheap. For 1 rupee, you could get 10 BDs like that. Whereas for a pack of cigarette, you have to pay 25 rupees. So, Nisargadatta Maharaj is his name. He used to make BD only, whole day. So in Hinduism, whatever we are doing in this world, that thing can be, and this is the rule, that thing can be turned into a means for moksha. Whatever we are doing, whether I'm playing an instrument, you'll ask all you noted kalakars in this world, and they'll tell you, music is supposed to lead me to God. Dance is supposed, the dancer here told me one day, she said, Swamiji, Sandra Sukhdev, she said, Swamiji, you all talk about Lord Krishna. When I dance on stage, I become Lord Krishna. The arts, the fine arts, they are meant to bring mukti. So like this, the presentation in Hinduism is anybody who is doing whatever, and in this case, in those days, what you used to have, a housewife, you didn't have wives working outside. So, a housewife is being told now by Anasuya, being a housewife, how you can use that also to gain mukti. So that thing has its context. Anything we could use to get mukti. Yena kena prakarena, by any which way. So, she says, binushrama, without effort also, nari paramagati lahai. A woman gets mukti very easily. Paramagati, supreme state. By this one, seva. Pativrata dharma chari chala gahai. By sticking to this, pativrata dharma, fidelity to the husband, and dropping all the other things. Always remember, in Hindu scriptures, there is only one goal. The goal is mukti. And how to turn whatever I am doing, in this case, housewives, what they are doing at that time, how to turn that activity into a mukti bestowing activity. That is the idea. Now, you will have to now make sense of all of this teaching in your present context. And whatever you are doing, whatever you are engaged in your life. Okay. All right. So this is the teaching of Anasuya to our Sita ji, and this is given by the great Anasuya, who is perhaps one of the most noted tapasvinis in the Ramayana, like we saw Swayam Prabha just a couple days ago. It is said that her power was so much, because being great-granddaughter of Brahmaji, her power was so much that she wrenched from Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh a promise that the three of them will be born as her son. She gave birth to the three of them because of some promise they had given to her. So powerful she was that she could make Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh promise to be born as her sons. So Lord Vishnu became Dattatreya, her son. Lord Shiva became her son Durvasa. You know that Durvasa fellow? There was something going on with Lord Shiva and Parvati, and Lord Shiva got angry. And his anger took incarnation through this Anasuya. And therefore Durvasa Muni, anything you do, that fellow will get angry. If you give him a mala, he angry. If you don't give him a mala, he angry. The anger of Lord Shiva incarnate. So he was born through Anasuya's son. And Chandra, moon, Brahmaji, incarnation of Brahmaji. All three of them incarnated through Anasuya. But this was her power, so great. So all these things are there in the different Puranas, and when you go on reading, you will see. So we are not speaking about any ordinary person, and whatever she says also cannot just be brushed. And this is one point also. I cannot sit and read scriptures and tell you to brush aside that, or brush aside that. That's an intellectual cop-out. You have to see how that thing is relevant in this time and this age. Now see, if you take the whole katha and you boil it down to just 1 or 2 lines, it will just be among spouses, fidelity. And I tell you, this will solve half of the world's problems really. Among spouses, fidelity. That is the idea. Okay.